Welcome. Thanks for joining. Opportunity to share some practice of yoga together. On this day that I am doing this, it is Sunday, Palm Sunday in the Christian tradition. It's the beginning of the Christian Holy Week. I was thinking about how different the scene is today than it was back in the time of Jesus' entrance into the city of Jerusalem. Things were bustling. The story goes that throngs of people came out to greet him, as if to greet the entrance of a great dignitary, even a king. Today, there's empty churches. There are empty streets. Rather than gathering in throngs, we are asked to separate ourselves. As the story also goes, however, unrelated to the times that we are living in right now, Jesus, it is said, rode into the city of Jerusalem on a donkey. This is important if you look at many of the statues here in American history. In fact, we often have war heroes riding on horses. Even, perhaps they didn't ride on horses, but riding in on a horse was a sign of coming in for war, to conquer. To ride in on a donkey was a sign that this was a person of peace. He was not coming to take over anything. Maybe some hearts, but nothing of destruction. Later in this Holy Week, there's a classic line where they come to arrest Jesus. And one of his friends pulls out a sword, sort of the equivalent to the modern day gun. And Jesus says to him, "Put away the sword." He did not come for war. He did not come for violence. He came for peace. He says, "Put the sword away. Those who live by the sword will die by the sword. Those who live in violence will die with violence." There's a kind of violence that's working its way in the form of a virus across the globe. If we ride in a sense, on a donkey, with peace, and shed that, maybe we can be more uplifting to one another. Maybe we can bring a sense of peace to our own hearts. And that's what I'd like you to do with your practice today. Practice gives you the opportunity to practice peace. I'm going to invite you into that peace throughout the practice. Let's begin with the peace of the breath. Not just a piece of the breath, but how the breath can bring us to a place of peace. Let the inhalation that's drawing into you right now be like you are inhaling peace and calm. There are many fears. Fear is a violence. And rather than living in the violence of fear, rather than living in the violence of anxiety and tension, let us find peace in our practice right now. So as the breath comes in, it is a breath of peace. As you settle in deeper and deeper, then allow the breath of peace that enters you to be released with an exhalation, not only of gratitude, as I often call you towards, but into your extension, your offering of peace to the world. Wouldn't you want that world to know the peace that we all desire for ourselves as we breathe peace in? So take in deep gulps of peace. Send out powerful energy of peace. invite you to draw the palms of your hands together with the elbows projecting to the outside, planting the fingers one up against the other. Begin to press into the palms of your hands. Let that pressure between them be what we know is always that pushback. People came to arrest the person of Jesus. What happened? His friends, who knew him to be a person of peace, pull out a sword. There's pushback. He stands up to that and says, no, put it away. It's not what I'm about. Keeping that pressure there between the arms. Let it spill out to your elbows, up the arms, maybe even feel it across the chest here as you continue to press. And then let's soften on the next exhalation. Release that. And then feel that tension now give way. Isn't that feel much better in your arms, in your shoulders? That is peace. Rotate the fingers one way or the other. Let's snap the hands at the wrist and let that move across in a horizontal figure eight. Working the shoulders, the arms, the wrists, the hands. Pausing, take it back the other way. And as you do, draw the elbows up a little higher, out a little wider. So you can feel that movement that began there at the wrists, moved into the arms and shoulders. Now feel it on the shoulder blades on your back. And then we'll pause. Draw the hands in towards the heart. Take a nice deep breath of peace into the heart. Let it be absorbed into your hands. And let's send that peace out into the world as I send it towards you. Drawing the hands back together. Again, let's bring the palms, elbows out, press in again, because there's always that pushback. Inhaling here. Let's push the right hand over towards the left shoulder. And then press right on back through the next breath over towards the right shoulder. Inhale over to the left. Exhale there. Inhale over to the right. Exhale there. Inhale back to center. Release the tension. Let the upper body feel that breath of peace there again. And now let's interlace the fingers the opposite way that you had them the first time and take that into a vertical figure eight. Sweeping the arms up and out. Again, we're going to pause at the top on this round and then take it back the other way. Sweep the arms out a little wider, down a little lower, and up a little higher. And all of that movement then that began initially at the hands, through the arms, to the upper back. Now can you feel it? Reach up into the lower back. Feel that movement. And we're going to pause at the top again. And then allow the hands to come drifting down onto the crown of the head, the seventh chakra. There's light there within us. Take a deep breath. Let it lift up through the whole of your body. Let it rise up now through the spine. And let the light of you and your peace shine out and flex the arms up overhead. And then we'll release the fingers there. Drop that left hand beside you and circle the right arm up and overhead. Inhale, draw it up a little bit higher. Again, reach up, pressing even into the left hand, and exhale that right arm over the head. Breathe in, breathe peace into your right rib cage. Inhale, let's lift up both arms again, allowing the right then to fall down beside you. Exhale the left over the head. Inhale the left arm back up. Reach up high, press down into the right. Exhale the left arm back over the head. And then begin that breath into the left rib cage. A breath of peace. Let the peace within you expand. Inhale, let's draw the arms back up again. Sweep them around behind you, and let's take the fingers right now and just let them kind of touch behind you. Then let the arms just fall back. Drop the shoulders down. And then bring the hands together. Reach the arms back. Feel a nice stretch across the chest. And then as much as you feel comfortable with it, just allow yourself to begin to bow forward. You can draw the arms up and overhead a little bit more if that's something that feels like it can happen in your body. Inhale, draw the hands back to the sacrum, and then release the arms back out front, and then roll your shoulders, and then bring it back the other way. We're going to come into a tabletop position. If you'd like, you can just roll over the knees into a tabletop, or perhaps just sweep the legs around, whichever works best for you. Let's have our toes curled for right now. Hands underneath the shoulders. Press the hips back into a little bit of a puppy dog here. And begin to wiggle the tail of your puppy dog. Inhale, rock forward. Lift up the lower part of your legs. I'm going to just shift here so you see what I'm doing. Lift up the lower part of your legs with the feet dangling there. Let's swivel those around. About 10 circles in one direction. And 10 coming back the other way. You might even flex the toes and the feet as they circle. And once you complete those circles, we'll drop the feet back down onto the mat with the toes still curled behind you. And then slip the hips back, pressing back through the heels, bottom settling in between the two heels. Again, a little bit of wiggle through the hips. And we'll take that into a barrel roll by shifting the weight of our body over into that right hip, guide it up to the right shoulder, hang out over both arms momentarily, shift it over to the left, and then down that left side. And just roll it around. Big barrel rolls. Now, if you'd like, you can also take those arms and step them out a little bit further. Work your body up, forward a little bit more then. Some point here, let's pause it and take that circle back the other direction. Come up the left side and down the right side. And then we'll pause that. Let's slide the hands back underneath the shoulders. Uncurl the toes behind you. The hands planted nicely underneath the shoulders. Nice spread on the fingers, base of the palms, base of the fingers, tips of the fingers. This is where you're really pressing down. That little special spot there in the center of your palm. Let's see that as like a little cup of peace that we don't want to smash down or spill out. Keep that just lifted a little bit more. Knees underneath the hips, tops of the feet flat. Remembering that ride into town on a donkey of peace. Let's let the hips draw upward, the belly's going to drop, the gaze is up. Someone's riding there. Now we're not going to flip them off. That wouldn't be very peaceful. But as you exhale, arch the back up like it's an arch of support. And then pressing the tailbone down the chin into the chest. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. One more. Inhale, cow. Exhale into cat, arching the back up, drawing the chin into the chest. Then when you inhale, just come back to neutral spine. Let's curl the toes behind us here. Slip the hips back. You might want to walk those hands out just a little bit further and begin to walk the legs up into a downward facing dog. But we're really going to pedal the feet here and just allow ourselves to stretch the backs of the legs through this down dog. After pedaling the feet for a little bit, let's pause that. But as you inhale next, push forward on the toes. Let the weight come into your shoulders and arms, which is not, of course, where we want it on a down dog. But then when you exhale, press the hips back, lift up high, settle the heels down. The knees might have a soft bend. Heels might not be touching down. You're just working that good stretch through the back side of the legs, lifting up. Draw the ears in between the biceps of the shoulders. A nice inhalation here. Let's step that right foot forward to the front of our mat. And just take a moment here to check our alignment so the front knee is over the ankle or behind it. Back knee right now is elevated. You're pushing back through the ball of the foot and the toes on that left foot. Press down through that leg. Extend. And then go ahead and drop the left knee to the mat. We'll uncurl the toes. Pull your hands together and lift yourself up like a person of peace. Let's go through that lovely little peace flow. We'll inhale the arms around behind us and then stretch the arms back and let there be peace before us. Feel it open up across the heart. Releasing the bound hands on your next inhalation, let them swing out to the side and then swivel and exhale, looking down the right arm, and let there be peace behind us. Swiveling the hips forward. Draw the hands back to the mat. We're going to rock onto the heel, lift up the front of your foot and bow your head towards the knee. As we lift up this foot, let there be peace underneath us. As we gaze underneath and let that peace like a river flow underneath that foot. Pressing the foot back down onto the mat, let's draw the hands together. And then swing the fingertips into your heart, where peace ought to reside. Let there be peace within me. And then releasing the hands, swing them up on an inhalation, up overhead. The palms can meet. You might interlace the fingers. Just have the index fingers up, pointing up, lifting up, stretching upward. Let there be peace above me. And then we'll fold over very carefully to the right. Let there be peace. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left, all around me. To the right and to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, we'll swing the hands back down. Let's curl the toes behind us on that back foot. And as you lift up the back knee, we're going to try to slide this right foot right up into a three-legged dog. Send it right up into a three-legged dog, nice and high. Hold it there. On the next inhalation, start to rock forward. You can drop that foot, or you could keep it elevated. You could keep the toes curled, or you could drop the knees and uncurl the toes and rise up into an upward-facing dog on an exhalation. Curling the toes behind you, slip the hips back, and then slide the hands so that they're right back underneath your shoulders and your back into your tabletop position. Let's take the lower part of our legs and move them all the way over to the left side. And if you'd like, you could walk your hands to the outside edge of your mat. If that feels like it's too much, it crunches you too much on this side, you can just keep the hands here, that's fine. But let's turn our gaze back towards the feet as well. Walking the hands back to center, then take the feet right back behind you. Look at your left hand. Now lift it up and let it rise up. Gaze is upward, and then as you exhale, thread the needle. Draw that left hand behind the right arm. Drop the left shoulder and the left side of your head to the mat. Now, if pulling that through doesn't work for you, just grab a hold of this wrist, drop the elbow, and turn your gaze looking over. If you can get that arm to follow all the way through, then let's take the right arm up to the sky, drop it across your back, and look for the left hip with the back of your right hand. Pull that right shoulder open. Be open to peace. Draw the right arm up to the sky. Let's work the shoulder. Circle it about half a dozen times. Fingers pointing towards the sky. And then back the other direction. When you complete your circles, plant the right hand right in front of your face, unthread the needle, bring that hand right back underneath, and now let's stretch back as we did a little twist in the upper body. Let's take it to the lower. Stretch back now through the left heel. On the exhalation, swing that left heel and foot to the outside of your mat on the right side. Turn your gaze back, looking back towards that, so the right ear and right shoulder kind of angling towards each other. Tighter twist. And we'll inhale that leg right back up. As it comes around, swing it over to the side so that it's right here in alignment with your right knee. Lift up the body and then swivel that foot right on up. Take the right, or left hand rather. We're going to circle the right arm up, slide the left arm down, the left hand down the leg, and circle the right arm overhead into a gate. Like we are entering into the city of peace. Not of anxiety and fear, but a city where people respect one another, respect the space. Inhale, we'll lift it back up. Maybe take that deeper a little bit more. If you reach out here with this right hand, circle that gate over again. Inhale, let's take it back up. As you do, take the hands back down to the mat. And now take that leg back behind you. We're going to pull it right back underneath into our tabletop position. Then inhale, drop the belly as the hips move up and the chin rises into cow. Tilt the pelvis down, raise the back up, chin to the chest, cat. Even press into the tops of the feet on that cat. Inhale, back to cow. Exhale into cat, pressing on the tops of the feet, the base of the palms, arching the back upward, and one. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Back to neutral spine. Set the hands just out in front of you a little bit here. Let's curl the toes, slip the hips up into downward facing dog. Good deep inhalation here. Rise up nice and high. Exhale the heels down. Inhale, let's lift up that left leg and press it forward to the front of the mat. Check your alignment. Front knees over the ankle or even behind it. Back foot pointed forward. Press back through that extended back foot's heel. And then drop the knee. And let's come back to our little prayer for peace. Bringing the hands right into the heart. Sweep the arms around and let there be peace before us. Stretching the arms back, fingers interlaced, release. Stretch the arms out on an inhalation and twist and look out to the left first, but then look down that left arm and let there be peace behind us. Swiveling the body forward, hands to the mat, rock onto the heel, drop the knee and bow the head to the knee. Let there be peace underneath us. Pressing the foot back down to the earth, palms together, circle them into the heart. Let there be peace within us. Sweep the arms up and overhead. And let there be peace over us. Interlace the fingers perhaps. Maybe the index fingers are pointing up. This time, very carefully, rather than going right and left, try to perhaps make a little circle with those fingers, drawing a circle on the ceiling above you. And let there be peace all around. And then be sure to take that back the other way a couple of circles. Completing, draw the hands back down to the mat. Curl the toes on the back foot. Lift up the knee. We're going to try to slide this left leg right up into a three-legged dog. Raise up high. Exhale there. Nice deep inhalation. As you exhale, begin to rock forward. Again, you can keep the leg elevated, drop, go to the knees, or just stay up high on the toes and come into an upward facing dog. Curl the toes behind you, slip the hips back, slide the hands back underneath you. Sweep the feet over to the right now, both feet. Look back at the feet, maybe walk the hands to the right side for a little bit more twist in that C curve here. Then we can walk the hands back, swing the feet back, raise the right arm, watching that hand all the way up to the sky. And then as you exhale, thread the needle. Again, you can grab the wrist here. If threading the needle doesn't really work for you, try to draw the right shoulder and the right side of your head to the mat. Walk the left hand out to 12 o'clock to start. Reach on out.
Then inhale that left arm up to the sky, bend it at the elbow, drop it across the back towards the right hip, pulling that right shoulder or left shoulder open and back. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. And then let's make those circles now towards the sky with the fingers pointing upward. Half a dozen or so in one direction. Half a dozen coming back the other way. Completing your circles, go ahead. Plant the hand right there beside you. Press into it. Unthread the needle. Get the hands back underneath the shoulders. Press back through the right heel on an inhalation. Exhale, take it over the left leg. Plant the toes outside the mat. Pressing back through the heel. Turning the gaze, left ear and shoulder towards one another. Press back through that heel. Let's lift up the leg and guide it right back into center here, but then take it over to the side. Once it's over there in alignment with your knee, lift up the body. Rotate that foot so the toes are up. Right hand on the knee or the thigh. Circle the left arm up. We're going to open up the gate and let's waltz into this city of peace. Drawing the arm over the head. Inhale, rise back up. Reach the left arm out to the side. And then circle it up one more time. If you wish, close the gate on fear and anxiety and tension. Let your body be a house of peace. Inhale, we'll draw that right back up. Hands can come back down to the mat. And then we'll slide that right leg back behind us. You can just keep it extended back there and then lift up the left knee and slip it back so you come into a plank. Good deep inhalation here. As you exhale, send the hips up high and come into a downward facing dog. You need to just make a little adjustment with your hands and your feet. Find your best down dog. Maybe you let your body lean forward again if you prefer. Into the toes and the balls of the feet. The weight shifts to the hands. Then exhale, send those heels back nice and deep. Good deep inhalation. Rise up into the hips. Press into the left heel. Inhale that right leg up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, send the foot forward to the front of the mat. Back to our lunge. Inhale, let the hips rise up with the breath. Exhale, press off the back foot. Step it forward, standing forward fold. Release and relax head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale, we'll sweep the arms out in a reverse swan dive. Letting the hands meet up overhead. As you begin to exhale, let's drop the hands first to the forehead. Right there to that divine eye. To see things in a peaceful way. And then take that and sink it into your heart. Going to work on a little bit of balance here. If, again, you've got a wall nearby and you want to utilize that, please know that that's always a possibility for support, extra support. I'm going to invite you to do here, though, as we begin. We're going to shift our weight over into this right foot. And when you're ready, let's lift up the left leg into a stork first. You could take the hands here and come underneath the side, and then see if you could extend that leg right out in front of you, and try to hold the balance of your body there with the leg extended out. So the leg could stay down. This is fine. If you'd like to just challenge a little bit more, press out the leg. Maybe with support or down. Bend the leg at the knee again. Let's take the right hand over to the outside of that left thigh and the left hand out to the side. Inhale in here as you exhale. Perhaps take the left arm back behind you. Maybe even try to look back at that hand. Inhale it back to center again. Sweep the left hand down alongside the body. Point the knee down. Raise the right arm up. Grab that foot. Imagine coming into the city filled with a parade of peace and let it dance out in front of you. Release the back foot. It'll swing back down to the mat. Hands can come right onto the mat as well. Slide the front right foot now back underneath you. I'd like to go to a side arm balance. So we've got options here. If you slide the right foot all the way back, then you're into a plank. And you can rotate that into a sidearm balance. But if you'd like a little bit more support, then as you come back down, you're in your plank pose. Rather than pulling that right foot all the way back, stop right underneath the heel, underneath the hip. Right hand right underneath the shoulder. Rotate the left heel down, toes out, right hand, right knee, lower leg, and heel. And you come into a nice supported sidearm balance. Whichever way works for you. Now let's work our shoulder again. We worked it with circles above. Now let's take it with big wide circles. 4 times. And pausing there, swing it back the other way 4. When you complete those circles, we're going to bring the hand back down the mat. I'm going to adjust myself again here. So bring that hand back down to the mat, then rotate your back foot. If you have a supported knee underneath, then we're going to lift that up and slide it right back so you're into your plank pose. Nice deep inhalation in plank. Let's chaturanga. Bring ourselves all the way down to the mat. Push forward right at the bottom there. Hands are just outside the chest. Press into the tops of the feet. Keep the elbows tucked in and lift up into upward facing dog. Now curl the toes behind you. Inhaling here, slip the hips right back up into downward facing dog. Good deep inhalation. Rise up nice and high into the hips. And now pressing into that right leg. Let's inhale the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, sweep the left foot forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, the hips rise up a bit. Exhale, press off the back foot, step it forward. Lift up the body, rising up. Palms will meet up overhead. Exhale then to the third eye. And then to the heart. Sealing peace right there within you. Shift the weight of your body over now to your left foot. When you're ready, raise up the right leg. Find a drishti, a little point of attention. Might just be staring right here at your screen. Again, you can take the hands underneath, try to extend that leg out, or maybe just keep the arms or bring them on up. Draw that leg back, folding it. Draw the right hand or left hand over to the outside of the right thigh, right arm out from the shoulder. If you're feeling okay with it, circle the right arm behind you and then try to turn the gaze back towards the right hand. Drawing that hand back forward again on the inhalation. Point the knee down now as we'll swing the arms back up. Circle the right hand back to grab a hold of that right foot. Try to keep your knee tucked in, not pulling it out here like this. Try to keep that knee so when you're swinging it back in, it stays right in alignment. Reach back, grab that foot. And then when you're ready, go out and dance in a parade of peace. Or fall into it. We're going to drop that right leg right back down onto the mat behind us. Hands back down to the mat. Once again, we're going to a sidearm balance. So as you slide this leg, you can drop the knee right underneath you or slide it all the way back. If you come to a sidearm balance with both feet back behind you, so we're going to rotate. Make sure you got this left hand right underneath the shoulder. Good support for it. Rotating, you might want to keep the feet separated. You might want to stack them. Another option is to take the top leg and drop it down. Whichever way you'd like. Bring the left arm, or the right arm then, up to the sky. And we're going to work that shoulder again. 4 big circles. And then let's pause it and bring it back the other way. Hand above you. Inhale there. As you exhale, sweep the hand back down, back into your plank. Hold it. Feel the energy. There's that pressing, that pushback again that we felt in the hands. Maybe feel it here because your hips want to slip down. Keep them up high. Feel that energy of life that says yes to life. Not destruction, not violence, to peace. And on the next Exhalation, slowly chaturanga. Lower your body down, push forward. And then uncurl or keep the toes curled, whichever you prefer. Come up into upward facing dog. Curl the toes behind you, press the hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward so you can come right up into plank. Hands should be right underneath your shoulders. Exhale, pull it right back up into down dog. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, right out into plank. Exhale, into down dog. Press into the right heel. No, let's go to the other side first. Press into that left heel. Let's inhale the right leg up, three-legged dog. On the exhalation, you could bend the leg at the knee if you feel all right with it. Let it spill over to the right, to the left. Maybe even turn your gaze back over the shoulder. Inhale, bring the knee back to center. On the exhalation, as you bring the knee underneath you, scoop that right leg out to the side, out to the left, like you're threading your right leg underneath you. Now you want to make sure you got good anchor underneath this right shoulder. The right leg's over here. This is going to have a lot of weight, so make sure you feel all right with that. Rotate your back left heel down, sweep the left arm up, and come into a fallen triangle or a fallen angel. Heart lifted up. Shine your light, your peace out to the world. Then we'll swing that arm back up again, back to the mat. Let's bring that right leg back underneath us. You got to swivel the left foot straight again, and thrust the left leg right back up into a three-legged dog. The right leg, sorry. Exhale, bring it underneath, but fold it this time now to set up for pigeon. So we fold the lower part of the leg across the mat. It might be all the way across the short side of the mat, or the knee might be pointed more forward. You can slowly walk your hands onto the mat. If this feels uncomfortable, you want to make sure that it's right for your knee and hip. Back foot, toes are uncurled. Kind of noodle that leg down the mat a little further. You might just come to rest on a block here on your forearms. If that's okay, maybe they just come right onto the elbows. Then you can walk the hands out in front of you. If that feels okay, start to stretch the arms away and then push that back extended left leg away from you. So you're getting a nice deep stretch into the hip, into the hamstring, but also through the length of your body. We'll inhale the hands back towards us. Lift up the body. Again, if you've got a block here, you may want to start to lift up a little bit higher. You can work the lower back here by pressing into the extended back leg, the lower part of that leg. Maybe lift up higher. Maybe you're feeling okay. You can bring the hands to the heart. Then anchoring yourself with the right hand right there before you, bend the left leg at the knee. I guess I should just slide around here. See this a little bit better. Bend that left leg at the knee, and then reach back with the left hand and grab a hold of that foot. Now some of you might be able to just pull it all the way in. You might even be able to set that foot right here into the crux of your arm. Do what's right for you. You may want to try to lift that right arm off the mat then too. Maybe you can circle it overhead and grab a hold of it with your left hand. Let it be playful, but be peaceful with your body. This is not a violence here to the body. And release that back foot. Let your foot come to the mat, hands back underneath you. Curl the toes on the back foot. Lift up the knee. Slide that right leg back underneath you and walk the plank. And then we'll inhale, lift up into downward facing dog. Exhale there. Inhale, rock forward into plank. Exhale, lift up into down dog. Inhale, rock forward into plank. Exhale, lift up into down dog. Press into the left heel. Inhale. No, let's do it the other way. Let's press into that right heel and lift up the left leg, three-legged dog. Feeling okay with it? Bend the left leg at the knee, spill over to the right. Good, anchor into that right foot. Inhale, draw the knee back to center. Scoop the knee underneath you, but swing it out to the right, right underneath you. Get yourself anchored under this left hand, right underneath the shoulder. Rotate the back foot so that the inside edge of your foot is down. Sweep the right arm up. Let that right or left leg sling away a little bit more and open yourself up. Your peace, your light, shining out. Sweeping the right arm back to the mat. Slowly pull that left leg back underneath you. Rotate the back foot so it's pointed forward. Swing that left leg right back up into a three-legged dog. Next exhalation, bring it back down and fold it down for the pigeon. Knee to the side, foot across. Uncurl the toes on the back right foot. Noodle that leg down the mat and then slowly lower yourself. When you know that you've got your knee and your hip in the place, it's okay. It's not going to feel comfortable, but it's a good deep stretch and it's safe. As your body embraces the peace of the pose, there's that resistance, there's tension there. Work with it. Breathe peace into that hip. Breathe peace into that hamstring. Breathe peace into the body. Extend it out. Press back through the toes. Then we'll walk the hands back towards the body, lifting up from that sleeping pigeon into a proud pigeon. Again, block can be a handy tool here to help lift you up. If you feel all right with it, maybe you're able to just lift your body up and work the lower back a little bit more by pressing onto the lower end of that back leg. Then the left hand can come to the mat. You can bend the right leg at the knee, reach back and grab it. Maybe send this left arm up. Maybe you're able to curl this around and this arm swings all the way back to grasp. Each of us, our bodies are different. The level that we can stretch and open this body up is going to be different for each of us. Take it to the level that works for you. Releasing the foot, hand back down to the mat. And now let's just roll right on over onto that hip. So then you can sweep this right leg back around in front, extend the left leg out. We'll come into Vindasana, the staff pose. Let's take the hands again now. We're going to slide them right alongside the body. The base of your palms just slightly behind the hips. Gaze is straight forward. Inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Feel an opening across the heart. Remember our breath of peace at the beginning. Come back to that. Breathe peace into your body. Exhale your own light and peace back out into the world. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Slowly reach out with the crown of your head. Reach with your heart. Wherever the hands come, maybe it's on the shin, maybe it's the knees, maybe the ankles or the feet. Draw yourself down, not with force. Let it be a movement of peace. Inhale, we're going to rise up. Slide this left leg right inside the right. Knee out to the side, sole of the foot tucked in. Inhale there. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Extend that left leg back down the mat. Exhale, fold. Hold. What kind of thoughts run through your mind when you fold over like that? Is there strain? Is there tension? If there is, breathe towards those places of tension and strain and invite them into a place of peace. Inhale, rising up, slide that right foot into the inside of your left leg, arms back up overhead, inhale there, exhale, fold. Inhale, rise back up. We're going to extend that leg out, but we're just going to keep the knee up and then draw this left knee back as well. I'm going to switch my position here for a moment so you can see where I'm going with this. We're going to go into a bridge pose next, but as we do, let's lower ourselves first by drawing the back to the mat, and draw the legs back with you, and then squeeze those legs in. So we did a nice work with the back, folding forward there a number of times. Now offering a little counter to it. Let's release the pressure with the hands still on the shin or the knees or in the fold of the legs. Guide the legs in circles. And then back the other way. Completing your circles, go ahead and drop the feet to the mat. Draw the heels in, kind of close to your bottom. Hands alongside the body, palms facing down. Knees are hip width apart and pointing upward. We're going to take this into a bridge pose. This is a bridge of peace, and our bodies are part of that entrance ramp. On your next inhalation, pressing into the heels, into the palms, into the lower part of your arms, lift up the hips into a bridge. On the next inhalation, let's guide both arms up towards the sky, and as you exhale, drop them back behind you. And then really reach and extend. As you do, lift those hips up higher. Draw the arms away, lift the hips up higher. Give more space to those who need to huddle underneath the bridge. Then slowly drop your bottom down to the mat, but keep the arms extended. Feel a nice stretch there through the upper part of your torso, the rib cage lifted up, the armpits extended out. Great stretch. And then sink the lower part of your back into the mat to soften that upper torso stretch, but to also activate your core. Core is tight, back is pressed to the earth. Inhale, lift the hips up into bridge again. Let's work our neck a little bit. We're going to invite others into this place of peace. Circle the left arm up now on an inhalation. Drop it down towards your heel and turn your gaze over to the left. Then on the inhalation, lift up the right arm, circle it. Draw the left arm back behind you, but now take your gaze to the right. Inhale, switch. Left arm to the heel, right arm back, gaze to the left. Inhale, switch. Right arm down, left arm back, gaze to the right. Exhale there. Inhale, guide the left arm back up. Exhale, swing it down, and as it comes down, now let your back come down from the top to the bottom, slowly lowering. So we're not going to have that deep stretch. We're going to slowly lower. We're going to press right on through the small of the back. And relax there. Again, let's draw the knees back towards the chest. Hands can be on the shin or the knees or the fold of the legs. Little guide there of circles. And inhale, let's draw the head off the mat, draw the knees in towards the head towards the knees. If you'd like, you could reach down, maybe grab a hold of the feet, press a little bit deeper, drawing your nose right in between the two knees. And then release that. Slowly lower the head back down to the mat, feet can drop back onto the mat. And we're going to work our way towards Shavasana. But as we do, right before that, you might know that there's still something else in your body that just needs a little bit more attention. And I always welcome you to address that first. so that when you're ready, then you can slide those legs back down the mat. Let the arms that are right there alongside your body stay there, palms preferably facing up. As we begin to sink into this pose of Shavasana, I'd like you to think about your heart. I'd like you to think of your heart right now as a beacon of light. Allow that beacon of light to just kind of move to the right and to the left. It's a light of peace. And when it comes back to center again, just let your beacon of light shine straight up into the sky. And imagine hundreds, thousands, million beacons of light shining straight up from your hearts right up into the sky. Somebody steps out, sees all of that light, not shining from above down, but from here on the earth up. A welcome place of peace. As you rest there, as always, I'd like to close with a poem from my dear friend Hafiz, 14th century Sufi mystic, poet. This poem is called All the Hemispheres. It seems to speak directly to our time. Leave the familiar for a while. Let your senses and bodies stretch out. Like a welcome season onto the meadows and shores and hills. Open up to the roof. Make a new watermark on your excitement and love. Like a blooming night flower, bestow your vital fragrance of happiness and giving upon our intimate assembly. Change rooms in your mind for a day. All the hemispheres in existence lie beside an equator in your heart. Greet yourself in your 1,000 other forms as you mount the hidden tide and travel back home. All the hemispheres in heaven are sitting around a fire, chatting, while stitching themselves together into the great circle inside you. peace right there within you. When you're ready, slide the legs up your mat, knees pointing towards the ceiling. Maybe the knees want to sway, maybe they just want to be still. Shifting your hips a little bit over to the left. Let your body rotate over onto its right side in the comfort, the peace of that simple drawn-in pose. Then press out to that top left leg. Push off the top hand and lift your body up. Coming to a seated position, your gaze might be lowered and your eyes even closed. You're in a place of peace, and you are peace. Taking a breath of peace into your body, letting it drop in, lift you up. Take the hands, draw the palms together. And then gently but vigorously rubbing the palms of your hands together. I invite you to place the palms of your hands over your lowered gaze or your closed eyes. At this kind of unknown time that we live in, there is much tension, certainly much doubt and fear and questions abound. These things draw us away from the place of peace that we are called to be. In the Christian world, they celebrate today, this Palm Sunday, of a Prince of Peace riding in on the peacefulness of a donkey, not with swords or weapons, but to provide peace. Let us lower our eyes, let us lower our hands and open our eyes and recognize the peace that we too are all called into, to enter into whatever situation we are gathered towards with peace. If you are a member of that Christian tradition, it's going to be a very different week for you. Rather than getting angry and upset at the bizarre nature of what we are living in, let it be an opportunity to experience a new way of celebrating this very special week in your tradition. Be more quiet and still, and let it be that. Find ways, new ways of communicating with others and communicating your love and your peace to them. There is peace and light in me, and I'm taking it and shining it right out towards you. I can imagine lights of peace shining back towards me. Grateful for it. I bow. Namaste. Thank you for sharing.